let's talk about my favorite reads of 2026. The first book of 2026 was 11/22/63 by Stephen King. So it starts with Jake Epping, who is a English writer for high school, and he also helps like adults get their GED. His friend Al, who owns the local diner, decides to tell him a secret. His storeroom is a magic portal to a particular time in 1958. Al wants Jake to go through the portal, go back in history, and try to prevent the Kennedy assassination. That's his dying wish. This book is very long, but it's also super nostalgic. Of course, I'm not old enough to have lived in that time, but I felt like I knew what it was like to be in that time. It was very detailed and immersive. It was a very long book, don't get me wrong, but I very much enjoyed it. The next book on my favorites list of 2026 so far is Project Hail Mary. Surprise, surprise. It is actually my first 5-star this year. I was absolutely obsessed with this book. I listened to the audiobook with my husband, and he really liked it too. I know a lot of people complain about the science talk in it, but for me, honestly, it didn't take anything away from the story. I know that there was obviously things that I didn't understand when he was like talking jargon, but it kind of helped. He's a science teacher with a PhD going in space to try to save Earth. So, and of course, my favorite character is Rocky. Like everybody loves Rocky. And I giggled a lot during this book, surprisingly. The next book that's on my list is Bonded by Thorns, and it's actually a 7-book series with the last book coming out in October. I've only read up to book 4 at this point, but I'm so excited to continue the series. It is on Kindle Unlimited, and I am like just eating these books up. They are so good. I can't put them down. But of course, I have all these other books that I want to read, so they're like fighting for attention. Is a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast reimagining with Faye. I feel like you don't really need much more than that. The last book on my list is actually a duology, and I know a lot of people have been talking about this series, but I feel like it absolutely deserves it. It is Crown Me Dead and Crown Me Yours by Liz Zander. This book was very emotional. To be fair, the first couple chapters of the first book is very descriptive and kind of gross. So if your stomach is sensitive, you might want to tread carefully. But it was super emotional. It had a very satisfactory ending, but it was still like not exactly like a happily ever after type ending. It was still kind of a sad ending. I'm so excited to discover what other books I read for the rest of the year. What books were on your favorite list so far? I'll see you later.